As Mark Twain once said, "The secret of getting ahead is getting started." Today, let's meet John, an everyman caught in the whirlpool of the mundane. He wakes up each morning to a job that has lost its charm for him. His cubicle, once a symbol of his ambition, now feels more like a prison. The same old reports, the same old meetings, the same old faces. It's a never-ending cycle that has John yearning for something more, something different. His dreams are big, filled with adventure and excitement, but they're just that, dreams. It's easy to empathize with John, isn't it? We've all been there, stuck in the rut of routine, hoping for a break. And so, John trudged on, unaware that his life was about to take a wild, unpredictable turn. But as we all know, life has a funny way of throwing surprises our way when we least expect them. Imagine waking up to an ordinary day, and suddenly there's a knock on your door. There, on your doorstep, lies an unmarked package. This was the unexpected turn in the life of our protagonist, John. Inside the package, he found what appeared to be a ticket. But not just any ticket. This one shimmered with an ethereal glow and promised a world of endless possibilities. John, being a man of reason, was understandably skeptical. A magic ticket? Really? However, he also knew that his life had been stuck in a rut for too long. And maybe, just maybe, this was the change he needed. So after a few moments of contemplation, he decided to take a leap of faith. With a deep breath and a hopeful heart, John stepped into the unknown. Just when the caterpillar thought the world was over, it became a butterfly. And so, our friend John found himself in a world teeming with adventure, a world that was a far cry from the monotony of his everyday life. Here, he gets entangled in a whirlwind of challenges, each more humorous than the last. He stumbles upon characters so quirky, they'd make a jester seem like a bore. Picture a gregarious giant with a penchant for poetry, or a sassy squirrel with a knack for knitting. These are just a few of the eccentric personalities that John encounters on his journey. Each interaction, every comical predicament, they all serve a purpose. They're not just there to tickle your funny bone, but to impart valuable life lessons. Lessons about resilience, optimism, and the power of laughter. John learns that life is not about avoiding the storms, but learning how to dance in the rain. Through the lens of humor, he uncovers a new perspective. He finds motivation in the unlikeliest of places, and his experiences in this world catalyze a transformation, a metamorphosis of sorts. He begins to shed the skin of his former self, embracing change, and growing as an individual. John had begun to see the world in a new light, and he liked what he saw. Our journey through life is often like the caterpillar's transformation into a butterfly. It's about finding the courage to step out of our comfort zones and discovering the beauty that lies beyond. As they say, change is the end result of all true learning. Our friend John found himself back in the real world, but he was not the same man who had left it. He was a transformed version of himself, carrying with him the lessons he had learned from his unexpected journey. He looked at his life through new eyes. His once monotonous job now seemed like a cage, keeping him from his true potential. So he took a leap of faith, quit his job, and decided to start his own business. It was a scary step, but he was fueled by the newfound passion that was burning inside of him. The transformation didn't stop at his professional life. His personal life was filled with a joy that had been missing for so long. He found himself waking up each morning with a sense of purpose and excitement. He was no longer just going through the motions. He was living his life to the fullest, grateful for the magical ticket that had brought about this change. It's amazing how one magical journey can completely change the course of a person's life. John's life was no longer ordinary. He had become extraordinary. And just like that, John's ordinary life had become extraordinary. All it took was a little magic and a lot of courage.